The other day, I had another photographer try to shame me for the lens that I was using. Now, if you've ever had this happen, this video is for you. Hola, I'm Christian, a photographer and videographer that's been doing this for over 10 years across different formats. So I actually learned photography, videography, and radio at college, which feels like a long time ago. But if you're here watching this, you're probably here because of the intro. Well, recently I went on a trip to Santorini, which honestly, I couldn't recommend more to anybody that has never been. What a beautiful island. But while I was there on holiday, not on a work trip and not to take photographs, I actually had a photographer try and judge me for the gear that I was using. Actually, they didn't comment on my camera body at all, just my lens. This was a photographer that was based in Santorini that mainly took portraits. His exact words to my partner, not me: your boyfriend, that lens he's got used to be my first lens too. So he actually judged me and my lens without asking, one, what my experience was, what I was going to take photographs of, or what I was trying to achieve. He then persisted to force his phone into our hands to show us his portrait work, to try and sell us on some work so he could get paid. Being the secure sort of guy I am, I didn't really take offense to, one, the flirting, or two, the attempt to belittle the gear that I was using. But I understand, as some people in this hobby could be put off by interacting with other photographers because of this. Now, if he had actually asked me just a few simple questions, he would have known that portraits aren't my thing. So telling me that a Canon RF 15 to 35 f2.8 was the lens that I needed probably wasn't the right recommendation for me. And the Canon R8 and a 24 to 70 f4 definitely suits my style of photography much more than a 15 to 35 f2.8. One thing I would like to point out is some of the most iconic photographs and movies of all time aren't shot at super low f-stops. This iconic photo of Muhammad Ali by Neil Lefer isn't shot at f2.8. Actually, I don't quite know what f-stop it's shot at, so if you do know, do tell me in the comments. But I'm assuming it's not at f2.8 because Muhammad Ali, Sonny Liston, and everyone in the background is in focus. And then when we come on to some of the most iconic movies of all time, things like The Breakfast Club, Jaws, True Romance. Okay, these might be some of my favorite movies of all time, but these aren't shot at super low f-stops either. Actually, the purpose of a lot of these is to get the world in shot as well, to set the scene. Now, I think it's key to remember here that if you're a photographer and you're getting paid to create content or to take photographs, you are the prime example of how a photographer should be. And actually, your attitude towards other photographers is probably your attitude towards some of your clients. And actually, as nice as the photographs that the gentleman showed me, I would never have parted with my money, because how he approached me is how I would assume he would treat me as a customer. And actually, as a content creator, if you are judging other creators on their lenses, their cameras, or the gear that they're using, it's pretty shameful on you. Everybody is in different stages of their life as creators. And I think if you're making content that people pay for or people consume, you're in the prime position to encourage other photographers. So remember, if you're a content creator out there and you see another photographer or a videographer Don't go up and judge the gear. Maybe have a conversation with them about what they're trying to create, what they enjoy about the hobby, how long they've been doing it. Ask them questions about them. They're not the people to push your work onto. They're the people that in future that you could actually potentially collaborate with or become friends with and actually have something in common with. So I guess the reason for this rant is, if you're a photographer and you see other people out there creating, don't be a dick. You're in the prime spot to encourage people to enjoy this hobby and continue. Ciao.